Hello again, welcome back to the Odd Holloway. I apologize for the sound quality. I am kind of recording this in a rush, on my phone, under a blanket. I didn't really have a lot of time to make this video, but I'm making it now. Anyway, so it's ArtFight again, and this will actually be my very first time participating, so I'm a little bit nervous, though I'm excited as well. I have spent the past couple weeks preparing a roster of my own characters, and I figured I'd introduce them in a video, so here they are. First up, this is Leland. They are a 21-year-old who lead a band of young adults who call themselves the Runaways. He wanders the old town of Qube Hollow, coming from a turbulent home life, though he prefers the streets. The only person who ever understood him was his aunt, accepting them for who they are. His possessions are Friday the stuffed donkey and his late aunt's guitar. This is Wilder. She is a 20-year-old who, with her father, has just newly moved to the town of Qube Hollow, where she of course meets the locals, Leland and his band, the Runaways. She and her father don't always see eye to eye, and he can be kind of strict on her self-expression, though her time with Leland allows her to explore her own self and creativity after she joins their band. Her possessions are her father's camera and a guitar given to her by Leland. Anyway, these two are from a story I call Wilder and the Runaways. This is the last of 3 original characters I have so far introduced. Just a guy who I thought of a little while ago who's this cranberry farmer based on those wolf spiders and other kind of creepy crawlies found in the cranberry marshes who are technically the co-workers of the farmers. I thought it was kind of a cool little idea. This guy is just a little wolf spider farmer guy named Mudskip Wolfgang. Now moving on to characters written for alternate universes based on existing IP. Now I'm a little shy introducing characters of my own stories, so it's a little bit easier for me to introduce OCs based around like an existing show or anything like that. Anyway, this character belongs to a Rick and Morty alternate universe I wrote, so I understand if you clicked off the video because of that. Thank you for stopping by. Though there shouldn't be any surprise because 5 years ago I did upload an Rick and Morty animation, so anyway, moving on. This is Rick XJ727, otherwise known as Runaway Rick. Get used to the runaway theme, it's kind of common amongst a lot of my OCs. He's a sort of introverted and anxious yet standoffish Rick without a Morty, whose home planet, Earth XJ727, seems to have been completely eradicated following a strange surge of energy at the location of the now vacant coordinates. He is currently a wanted person, on the run for crimes committed on Alcazar, Citadel 430, and perhaps some other obscure reasons. Ooh, I don't know. That's all I'm gonna give for now. He has a tail and weird antennae that are also kind of, they're like exposed nerves on his head. Think Pim from Smiling Friends, but much worse. Anyway, if you've come this far, thank you for tolerating the cringe. Anyway, moving on to yet another Rick and Morty character. I am so sorry, folks, it's only all downhill from here. Snapdragon Omicron 741-J is a version of Morty of the Valley, based upon the Morty found in the now taken down mobile game Pocket Mortys. His story is kind of long, so I'll keep it brief. He essentially began as a regular Morty and was turned into Snapdragon in an experimental lab run by a bunch of Ricks on Citadel 430, yes, Alcazar, the same Citadel I mentioned before. Their goal was to sort of create a Morty who would act as like a mindless guard dog, who essentially could clone itself by having one of its heads cut off and transplanted quickly into water, where roots would eventually form a new body. However, Snapdragon managed to escape before any further experiments were run. Anyway, that's it for now for this guy. Moving on to the next one, I guess. Rick and Morty character jump scare. Anyway, even though this is the last R&M guy that I'm gonna be introducing in this particular video, I cannot promise that I will not add any more of these guys in the future, because I do kind of have a ton of them. Anyway, moving on. This is Morty R99, otherwise known as Mindrip Morty. This Morty was subject to many cruel experiments by his Rick. He is chock full of cybernetic enhancements, which did gain him the moniker Gore Gadget Morty for a while. As a teenager, he and Summer, R99, spent a few years on the run from their Rick, there it is again, that runaway theme, before they were found again, resulting in the disappearance of his sister, and Morty himself receiving a head injury which causes a severe split in his personality when the wound is open, this alternate personality being named Mindrip. I know he's kinda got a lot of names at this point, but anyway, finally moving on from the R&M OCs to our very last character of the roster. Now last, but certainly not least, is a character who was actually created by my sister for an Attack on Titan alternate universe I was writing a little while ago, a dog named Titanbait. My sister essentially came up with this idea where dogs can be utilized in the Scouts missions outside the walls, and it kind of brought a little bit more life to what I was sort of writing already, and I really liked the idea, so here is a little bit of what my sister wrote for the character. She's a 7-year-old Border Collie Basenji mix, who has been serving for 6 years and 6 months in the Scout Regiment, the longest of any other Outlook canine on duty. She has sustained substantial injuries, though no injury has stopped her from her service as a member of the Scouts. She is the founding canine of the teaser tactic, in which a canine is sent out to lure away a Titan from a Scout's hiding place, and to return, hopefully safely. Essentially, she's this really smart dog who kind of invented this tactic, sort of adding on to where dogs were previously used to scout ahead and report back to their team if they had seen a Titan. She sort of protected 8 members of her stranded team by constantly luring Titans away from them before they were finally rescued. Sorry, my dog is barking outside. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thank you for stopping by and taking the time to actually listen to my rants about my characters, and happy ArtFight, everybody. Good luck!